Growing up, I hated Team Rocket. They were always getting in Ash's way and were often used as filler. I now realize they were the best part of the show, and although they never had their big score, to pay homage, I set out to shiny hunt every single Pokemon they had. The game plan is we have 27 shiny Pokemon that we need to catch. A bit more than half of this will be in Scarlet, a handful in Sword and Shield, a few in Legends Arceus, and then we have a surprise hunt at the end that will make things a bit difficult. Now, we just need to pick our partner Pokemon for the hunt, and it's an easy choice. Meowth. I started this hunt with him not only because he is one of the 3 core team members and has an iconic backstory, but because it can learn False Swipe, which is going to make everything easier to catch. So the night before Halloween, we head to Medali, the town where the people like to disappear into the mountains, and we pop a sandwich that looks so yummy, and we get our first encounter. Oh my, I have to catch it. I think I have to. Well, shine. You know what? Not a Team Rocket mon, but shiny's a shiny, I guess. And yeah, after this, I decided anything we aren't looking for that shines, we're gonna go ahead and catch it. Team Rocket can go ahead and send these Giovanni's way. But after straining my eyes for another hour, we found him. Oh my god! Oh my god. It's the one. I barely recognized him. And yeah, I was way too hyped for a 1 in 512 Meowth, but it was the start of my journey. But I had one more issue. My next targets were Coughing and Ekans, and they're only found in Violet and Scarlet in the DLC, which at the time, I hadn't played. And late to the party, I play through both DLCs with Meowth by my side. It was still a bit buggy, but I had a blast. The new characters were great, I fell in love with new Pokemon, and we did whatever this is. And I had so much fun, genuinely. I even completed the dex, which was easier said than done. Please, give me Apom. I need Apom, please. I need an Apom. Apom. Oh, and I ended up finding these shiny eggs too. And once all that was done, I took off to find myself a shiny Coughing. What kind of Pokemon are you? How do you do the things you do? We make our way to the top of Kitakami, and I am in love with this view, so I don't mind spending a lot of time up here to shiny hunt. But we find Coughing within the first sandwich. Oh. Coughing! But Coughing knows Memento, and it ends up killing itself. Lucky for me though, I saved and were able to scoop him up with a luxury ball a minute later. So now we're on to Ekans, and wouldn't it be perfect to catch a snake in the apple orchard? Well, although it's fun scenery, there's better places to hunt Ekans because the poison type sandwich also spawns in a bunch of other Pokemon. Who would have guessed there's a lot of bugs and plants where you grow apples? I phase not only once, not twice, but 3 times on Ekans, which, after the fact, I realize I actually need Bellsprout to get James's Victory Bell, so it's a win-win. So here's Weepinbell evolving into Victory Bell, except I give it the scream the anime does. So yeah, 1, I love how the shiny looks, and 2, we go back to hunting for Ekans, and we finally find the shiny. And this is the first shiny for Jesse on the board. And now that we have Coughing and Ekans, it's time we evolve them, and this is a big occasion. Jesse and James didn't actually want to evolve their Coughing and Ekans and fear their friends might be, well, different. But with their tears, they both were able to evolve their Pokemon, and this is the moment I realized maybe Team Rocket isn't so bad after all. Sticking with the theme of snakes, we pick up Jesse's Survivor, and I know what you're thinking, should be easy with the Year of Snakes event that just happened, but funnily enough, I hunted all of these before this snake event was even announced. And at this point, we're on a roll. We get James's Cacnea and shortly after Fungus, which we're going to evolve into the sus Pokemon. And then we get Jesse's Mimikyu, which was one of the harder hunts since the shadows in the game make it hard to tell if it's shiny. Oh my god. I almost didn't see it. Oh my god. I checked the eyes. I was checking all of the eyes. I am so due for a shiny. How long have I been hunting this? Man, it's only been 3 hours, but I had an hour and a half until spawns reset, so I was so nervous. Oh, I got it. Bro, look at all these Mimikyus watching. Oh my god, yeah. Look, look at the audience we had. Yeah, sorry, I caught your buddy. But then, with a much more obvious hunt, we switch over and we get Yamna, which we teach Ancient Power and evolve to a Yanmega. And speaking of Yanmega, I'm going to say it. Jesse deserved to win the Grand Festival. Even more than Dawn. I'll die on this hill. I just believe it. But back to the shinies. I have some unusual inclusions in the list. The first is the iconic Magikarp that James buys from the Con Man, which was a really easy shiny to find, and we evolve it into the iconic red Gyarados as seen at the Lake of Rage. But it's crazy to think if James treated his Magikarp like his other Pokemon, he'd be sporting a Gyarados right now. And while we're talking about James, the next hunt is going to be for a shiny Growlithe. If you recall, in his backstory, he grew up rich and had a childhood Pokemon named Growly. And to get out of his arranged marriage, he had to run away from home, essentially leaving everything and his Pokemon Growly behind. So we set out to hunt our own shiny Growly, and we get a surprise shiny Timber up on the mountain, which is a fun shiny, and it's quickly followed up by this. Oh, there we go, finally. Oh, don't run away. Chill. Oh, what a nice shiny. Okay, I was going to false swipe, but if it has Flare Blitz, I guess I can't do that. But we have to put in the Luxury Ball. We have to. Nice. So Jesse had a sad backstory too, and I think it's sadder than James's. Jessie is down on her luck, she's desperately looking for a job, and she enrolls in a nursing program. That is for Chanseys. And obviously, she's not a Chansey, and it doesn't work out because she falls asleep when the Chanseys sing to their patients. I don't know why they couldn't transfer her to the Nurse Joy track. I'm guessing there's some type of nepotism there. But anyways, Jessie helps out a Chansey there who isn't too great at nursing, and they just have this really touching bond. And that's why I need to find a Chansey of our own, which, like the Growlithe hunt, doesn't go quite as planned. But eventually, we do get a Chansey, which we evolve to a Blissey, which evolves from friendship, and that is just so fitting with the backstory. Also, Blissey might be the worst shiny in the game. And their reunion, where they kept their relationship a secret and Jessie fake fights the Blissey. Man, this is where I became a Team Rocket fan. So yeah, I'm joining. You can sign me up.
Team Rocket's Rocket. Don't get in trouble, won't get in trouble, no trouble, big trouble's gonna follow you.
Now officially a member, we go to hunt the next oddball inclusion, which is Delibird. It was essentially Team Rocket's delivery system, and this is a fringe inclusion, but As I was getting closer to Christmas, I just wanted to hunt him, and I caught not one, not two, but 3 shiny Delibirds. And I actually end up leveling one up to level 100 and trading it to my sister, so she would have a Pokemon to do the shiny Rayquaza raids with me with. But we're on the final stretch of Pokemon Scarlet. We make a huge dent in James's Pokemon by catching Inkay, and then catching Cacnea, and finally rounding out the team with Marini. Now we have one last Pokemon to hunt in this game, and it's Chimecho. And this is a special Pokemon to me. James loves his Chimecho. He always wanted one growing up, and now that he had one, there was no way he's letting it go. Heck, James never even battled with it. Jesse did once in a competition where James was just crying the whole time. But I feel similarly about Chimecho. I remember never finding one as a kid in my Ruby playthrough, and as Gen 4 rolled around, I caught one and was so happy. So much, to this day, a Chimecho always makes its way onto my Gen 4 teams. So we make our way back to the mountains. 3 sandwiches later, we secure ourselves a shiny Chingling with a friend ball, mind you. And this Pokemon, again, evolves with friendship, which is way too fitting. And I get it, James, I get it. This is why we love Chimecho. And to top it all off, there's an episode where James has to leave Chimecho behind when it gets sick. And this just showed why it was his favorite Pokemon. But as Chimecho leaves James's side and a hole in his heart, it's replaced by a new fan favorite Pokemon, and I need to boot up another game to shiny hunt it. Arceus was one of those games where I beat it and then put it down. So before doing these hunts, I sunk a bit more time into the game. And when I say that, I went and beat Volo, completed Research 10 on every Pokemon to get the shiny charm, and I even got a fancy little gold mark on my card. Long story short, I should have put more time into this game because I am now obsessed with it and I'm ready to shiny hunt. The first hunt was Mime Jr. I pretty much just perfected his dex entry and then continued to fly over the area he spawned while between waiting for mass outbreaks. And while it was slower than Scarlet and Violet, in a few hours, we got our target. Oh my god. And he's shooting at me. Come back, buddy. Oh my god, he disappeared. Alright, shiny boy's back. Nice. And we stick the landing. Now, all we have left in the Fieldlands is Dustox. And if I find a shiny Dustox, Cascoon, or Wurmple, it makes no difference to me. So you can believe my shock when we stumbled upon this. Yeah, this is my first shiny alpha of many to come, and now I have to hope it evolves into Cascoon. And yeah, I got so lucky. With the evolution into Cascoon, we're then able to evolve it into an alpha shiny Dustox, and look at this thing. This is my best catch yet, and rightfully so. What most people forget is Jessie had her own Bye Bye Butterfree episode, but it was arguably more sad since Dustox still wanted to stay and Jessie had to break its Pokeball before it would go off and be with the Dustox that it loves. Honestly, it was peak cinema. But we have 2 more hunts left. Carnivine and Lickitung are both found in the Crimson Mirelands, and I find a route that lets me check for them both. Pretty early on, we get this shiny Combee, which is a male Combee, so unfortunately it can't evolve into Vespiquen, but pretty cool regardless. And then, shortly after, I pop off and I get a shiny Carnivine. And yeah, now we're just down to Lickitung, but it is not in sight. While most of the hunts in this game took about 2 hours, I hunted Lickitung for close to 10 before I found this. Oh my god. I needed a Lickitung. Not a Licky. And yeah, I don't count it, but I catch it. Jessie didn't evolve for Lickitung, so we're still on the hunt. And about 30 minutes after the Licky Licky, we run into this. Oh my god, shiny Lickitung. Woo! There we go. There we go. That's it for Legends Arceus. That's the last one I needed for this game. I'm gonna miss it. I put so much time into it to get to this point. Oh, feels good. And while I wish I had a fun anecdote to say how much Jessie cared about her Lickitung, she actually trades it by accident to a kid for a Wobbuffet. So I don't know how notable that is, but our next hunt is going to be Wobbuffet, but sadly enough, he's not in this game. So we're going to have to switch over to Sword and Shield. Unlike the last two games, I've played a ton of Sword and Shield, so there's no catch up on the post games needed. But I went back to an old favorite way to shiny hunt, Masuda method. This is where you take a foreign Ditto and the Pokemon you want to hunt with and have them breed. When they do this, your egg has a 1 in 512 chance for a shiny Pokemon. This is of course with the shiny charm. So to set expectations, I need 6 shiny Pokemon. And to get this, I'm expecting to hatch about 3,072 eggs. And also, to hatch these eggs faster, I have my trusty Flame Body Colossal leading the party. And we are off to a hot start. First hunt was Wobbuffet. I don't care if it's a girl or a guy shiny. The only thing that is different is the lipstick, but Team Rocket doesn't really strike me as a group to care about that sort of thing. And then I did not expect what would happen so soon. So I was playing some DBD, and on the side I was just doing some egg pulls. And yeah, it only took 76 eggs to get our first shiny. And it's got the nice lipstick, of course, and this looks like the kind of Pokemon that can reflect a legendary's attack. And keeping the good luck, we hatch a shiny Morpeko in 125 eggs, which is insane. Then next up we have Jessie's Pumpkaboo. And in the same day of hunting, this happens. Oh! Oh my god! Spooked me. It looks so nice. Oh my god. Again, we get this way under odds at 366 eggs, which it looks amazing. And we evolve it into Gourgeist, which honestly is one of my favorite looking shinies of the project. I just don't see the evolution screen because I have to trade a friend to evolve it. But I always saw Gourgeist as essentially Jessie in Pokemon form. And back over to Frillish. This was a really fun hunt. Again, I'm not gonna care about any gender differences. This one took a little bit longer, and it was fun because when I brought them into Pokemon Home to mass transfer, I could play Connect 4 with the boxes. Then 452 eggs later, we hatch a shiny Frillish. Oh, shiny! Shiny Frillish! It's a pink one too! Oh! Oh my god. And I'm going through our laundry list of shinies pretty quick in this game. My egg luck has been great. And next up we have Sun and Moon favorite Beware. This is another technicality, but I was on a hot streak with eggs, so I say I better include it. Plus, I love the relationship with Team Rocket, and it's just a great part of the show. And just under odds, we get this shiny Stuffle in 502 eggs. It looks fantastic. I evolve it, and I'm super happy with this one. And we're down to one last Pokemon for Sword and Shield, and that's going to be Woobat. I'm not a huge fan of the Pokemon itself, and the shiny isn't too special, but as the last egg on my list of encounters, we get to hunting, and the eggs start piling up, and eventually I'm over odds. Not just a little over odds, we keep climbing and climbing and climbing until we are above 1,000 eggs. But finally, about twice over odds, we get our Woobat. Oh! Oh my god! Oh my god, I was not paying attention. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Are we over? Double? Oh my god, just under 2 times the odds. Oh my god, I did not even care about this thing. I'm just so glad to start a different hunt. Oh, it looks good though, it looks good. Even with how we gradually increased how many eggs we were hatching up to the Woobat, for the 6 hunts, we hatched about 2,532 eggs, and that is fantastic luck. But little did I know, my luck was about to run out. At this point, we have caught every one of Team Rocket's Pokemon as shinies except one, and nothing could prepare me for this final hunt. The final hunt is James's Yamask, and there's nothing extraordinary about Yamask. It's actually pretty forgettable, so much so that James, who is known for loving all of his Pokemon, just casually leaves Yamask with Giovanni at the end of the Black and White run. So why is Yamask last? Well, it's not in Scarlet, Arceus, or even BDSP. The only Switch game it's on is Sword and Shield, but there's a Galarian form in the game. So you can only catch Galarian Yamask in the wild, but wait, you can get the Unovan form. You just have to trade with this NPC to get their Yamask, Masky, but it's shiny locked, so I can't even soft reset for him. And then when I put him in the daycare, the eggs that spit out were Galarian Yamask. And yes, I found out after the fact that I could have just put an Everstone on it. But because I am missing that knowledge, I dust off my trusty 3DS and boot up one of my favorite Pokemon games of all time, Pokemon White 2. And unfortunately, I've never shiny hunted on these games, or really any games before Gen 6. So when I was playing them, I would just replay them over and over, so I wasn't too far in the save file. And I had the option of A, completing the game's Pokedex, getting the shiny charm, and maybe Masuda hunting on that game, or I could just full odds hunt it. And when I say full odds, I mean 1 in 8,192. And you guessed it, I decided to go the full odds hunt. And while with this option I didn't have to fully beat the game, I still had some setup. I had to play up to Relic Castle, I had to catch a Patrat that I can evolve into a Watchog. And this is important because Watchog has the Illuminate ability, which increases how quick you find wild Pokemon. And this is going to speed up the shiny hunting process a ton. I also needed to get a hold of a Smoke Ball, so I'm guaranteed to run away each time. To get the Smoke Ball, I need to go to Opelucid City to be able to get it. So I beat 2 of my favorite gym leaders, Elisa and then Skyla, and I guess Clay too. And I get my Smoke Ball, and I finally make my way into Relic Castle, where I can begin my first ever full odds shiny hunt. And I am really grinding. I have a singular DS, so I get through about 90 to 100 encounters an hour if I am locked in. And with that, it's not even a guarantee to get a Yamask. I could phase, which means I get a shiny that isn't a Yamask, and down here in Black and White, Yamask has a 50% spawn rate, with Sandile being another 50%, but in Black and White 2, which is pretty much Game Freak saying, uh-oh, too much Unova, they added in old Pokemon spawns. So now in Black and White 2, our spawn rate for Yamask is 40% chance, a 40% chance for Sandile, and then a 20% chance for Sandshrew. And I was a sweet summer child documenting hitting 1,000 encounters thinking I was approaching a shiny. And as the counter grew quickly, I found myself going over odds on my first ever full odds hunt. As I surpassed 10,000 encounters, I went home for the holidays. And while it's great to spend time with family, the night before Christmas, I spent the entire time shiny hunting and watching my favorite Christmas movie, The Batman Returns. And while Christmas was great, I still hadn't found a shiny. I spent nearly a month hunting every day with no luck, so something has to change. I upgrade to a 2DS setup after finding a copy of Black $90 cheaper than what most are selling it on Facebook Marketplace. At first, I was nervous that I bought a kid's cherished DS game from their mom, and I'm now realizing it was their husband's old game from looking at the save file. So, after 21,400 encounters, we add in the second DS, and only 150 encounters later, we get a surprise. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I thought this game was busted. Man. It's no Yamask, but at least I know the cartridge is good. And I am so glad I didn't run. Like my instinct is always just to run. I didn't calc. Oh my god. Yeah, I didn't calc how much my moves did, so I'm just throwing raw Ultra Balls. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's me. Hello. Oh, that's so exciting. So yeah, not only is this my first 8,192 shiny, it's also my first ever phase on a full odds hunt, so I'm naming the Sandshrew Phase. And it's crazy because between the two games, there's like a 10% chance for the Sandshrew. But inspired with twice the speed, I start hunting again, and surely we won't go over odds. And yeah, we're over odds again. And while I'm hunting, I don't mindlessly just click away staring at the DS screen. While I was hunting, I was watching Pokemon Horizons, I shiny hunted on other games, and I really immersed myself in the Pokemon shiny hunting community. I watched hundreds of hours of YouTube videos and streams all about shiny hunting. And this talented community inspired me to push through and finish this adventure that I had set out on. So a couple weeks later, we get another shiny. Oh my god! Shiny Sandile. Oh my god. Oh my gosh, on the black and white file, well, I guess it's just the black file, but oh. How many? 11,224 encounters. Jeez. So, out of the 3 encounters on this route, I just need the Yamask. And yeah, it's crazy we phase again. We name it Ultra because Shiny Sandile kind of looks like an Ultra Ball. And now, at this point, we'd hit everything that can spawn down here except our target. And the hours on these games are starting to add up. Now, I can only hope our next shiny will be Yamask. Oh my god, it happened. It happened. It happened. Oh my god. Okay, I am shaking. I need to take a second. Oh my. Okay. The bag? I have hit run, what, 40,000 times? I'm used to it. I'm locked into it, and we're under odds. Holy cow. I want to be a weak shiny hunter. I have to be. I have to be. If I don't catch this thing after all this time, it's worth it for me. Oh my god, it's been, what, 3 months? Oh my god. I cannot believe I got it. I'm freaking out. I did not think this was possible. Oh my god. And we've named the last few, but this is James's Yamask. He doesn't name it. I am so excited to work on this video. This is... I'm about to cry. And yeah, all the determination paid off. I've never felt such a high playing a Pokemon game. I understand why people are so set on hunting full odds. It's truly got me hooked, and I've already planned and started hunts that are even more challenging than this one. So looking back at all the Pokemon that we got in Scarlet, all the Pokemon we got in Arceus, our Egg Squad from Sword, and finally our shiny Yamask, we have caught every Team Rocket shiny Pokemon. And weeks later, as I'm finishing editing and scripting this video, I look back and realize why I like Team Rocket so much. They're just a group of underdogs who aren't necessarily great at their job, but they love their Pokemon. And I think that's something we can all relate to. And this was my first video. I hope you enjoyed tagging along on this Pokemon adventure, and I hope you can be there for all the adventures I have yet to come. Thank you.